Hello and welcome to the VSC podcast. Here we sit down with professionals that serve survivors and victims of trauma, or those who've experienced violence, and have conversations about social issues. My name is Hannah Jenarine, my pronouns are she, her, and I am the violence prevention educator at the Victim Service Center of Central Florida. In this podcast, we discuss sensitive topics such as violence and sexual assault. It's important to take care of yourself while listening. Some suggestions are listening while you're in a healthy headspace or knowing who you can reach out to if you become upset. Our 24/7 helpline for crisis calls based out of Central Florida is 407-500-HEAL. For the Florida State Sexual Helpline, call 888-956-7273. And by contacting the National Hotline at 1-800-656-4673, you can get support and learn about your local resources. There is always someone ready to help. In today's episode, I have with me Rhonda Wilson, who is VSC's lead advocate, and Matt Griffin, who is a fitness trainer. Today, we'll be speaking about healing through fitness and how these two components can aid in healing and self-discovery. So without further ado, let's get to it. Matt and Rhonda, thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited to record this podcast with you. So Rhonda, I want to start with you. Could you share more about who you are, what you do? And we know that Matt is your fitness trainer. So why did you reach out to Matt initially? And could you share more about your healing journey? I know that's a loaded question, so please take your time.
Well, thank you, Hannah, for having me here and to talk about fitness and mental health with Matt, my trainer, my motivator. Okay. So what started me was right now I am currently the lead advocate at the Victim Service Center. I oversee approximately 15 people, and over the advocacy department, helpline, intakes, crisis sessions, stuff like that. I've been with the agency for almost 14 years now. So I've seen a lot of clients, a lot of cases over the years. So during that time frame, I was in a stage in my life where I gained a lot of weight, and I wasn't happy with my weight, which affected me mentally because I didn't like how I felt, didn't like how I looked. So about 10 years ago, and this is when my fitness journey really kind of got started before COVID. About 10 years ago, I was weighing 205 pounds and I decided to go to a gym, to kickboxing, boxing, and I could not get lower than 165 pounds. So I tried a personal trainer, still couldn't get below 165 pounds as much as I ate pretty good. Mm-hmm. So COVID happened. I ordered a rowing machine because I love to row. Ordered a rowing machine, rowed during COVID. And then towards the end of 2020, I slowly started losing weight very slowly. 2021, I was still rowing, but not enough. 2022, I thought, you know what? I looked at myself in the mirror and said, you know what? I don't like what I'm seeing. I am not happy. This isn't healthy for me mentally. It's not healthy for me physically. So I reached out to one of my friends in Texas who goes to the gym 6 days a week. And she sent me some videos to say, here, kind of learn your way around. So the first time I went to the gym was in March 2022. Spent 3 to 4 hours in the gym because I did not know how any of the cables work, machines work, any of that. So I had to learn all that. So after 6 months, I had reached a level of, I'm not going anywhere. So I got down to probably 150 pounds at that time. So I've been following Matt on his social media platforms. And one day it was like Labor Day, in fact, September 6th, I'll be with him for almost a year. He had advertised on one of his platforms that he does virtual training. And I'm thinking, that's what I need. I need somebody to tell me what I need to do. Because me going in there and just doing certain exercises 6 days a week, I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see.
Right.
So what ended up happening was, it's just like in counseling, crisis counseling and counseling. It took every muscle in my body to reach out to Matt, direct message him and say, hey, I'm interested in your virtual training. Can you tell me what that looks like? And I figured I wouldn't hear from him, for a while. he got back to me like within 10 minutes and said, so what are you looking for? What are you looking for out of fitness?
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment in time, I wanted to just look fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if I felt fit, it would help me out mentally, and I feel good mentally, physically, because they connect.
Mm-hmm.
So about being with Matt for about a month, a woman came across one of my social media platforms that was the same age as me, and she had on her bucket list that she was going to do a bikini competition. And so I followed her for a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh, if she can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time I met with Matt, it took every muscle in my body to ask him, would he be willing to train me for a bikini competition? So as we're talking, I said, I want to change my fitness goal. And he's like, okay. That's like, what would you think if I wanted to enter a bikini competition in my age group? And Matt goes, and I quote, hell
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Uh-huh.
At that moment in time, a light came on inside me, a sparkle came on inside me, and I had somebody in my corner that was willing to support me right off the bat to reach that fitness goal. So as we discuss my fitness goal in fitness stage, first thing he says, you got to find a nutritionist. So me and him were both trying to find a nutritionist that we believed in. And then finally I found the nutritionist. Then it took off from there. And Matt has been with me every day of this journey when I hit the stage in May. And then again in July. So that's where I'm at in my fitness and my mental health stage.
That's absolutely amazing, Rhonda. Thank you so much for sharing. Matt, can you share with our audience more about who you are, what you do, and what led you into becoming a fitness trainer?
Um, I've always been into fitness. Um, Ever since I was a small boy, I remember my parents bought me a pair of dumbbells. I think they were like 10 pounds, two sets.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go to bed at night. I would go in my room and kind of toss to the side. I had no television. I had a radio, and the way that I helped myself go to sleep is I would make up a little workout routine, go through the workout routine, and then I'd be able to fall asleep. So I really think a lot of that came from that set of dumbbells.
Mm-hmm.
But how I become a personal trainer is one day somebody messaged me on Instagram. It was an older lady, and she was depressed. And I get random messages from all kind of people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But this one kind of touched base with me. She was depressed, had some weight issues, and she asked me if I would put her together some kind of workout routine.
Mm-hmm.
And her being 65, 70 years old, overweight, you're limited. So I put her together a little small routine with a chair, sent it to her. I didn't really think that she would go through with it, but in 2 or 3 weeks, she messaged me back and she said, this is changing my life. I'm able to walk out the door. I feel better about myself. So it kind of sparked a little something in me that said, hey, you know what? There may be other people that may need some help, that may just need a little bit of guidance, something to give them a little bit more confidence in the everyday world, whether they're in the gym or whether they're at home. So this is where the virtual fitness trainers thing actually originated from. But just a small town guy, just wanting to make a difference in the world, because helping others is really what it's about, because what you give out is what you receive.
That's amazing, Matt. So, who are the majority of the clients that you help, and what would you say is their reasoning for wanting to exercise?
I would say 90% are older women.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that they maybe reach out to me based on my social media pages, which you can look at on Instagram, which is Matt Griffin 37. It's a motivational page, basically. It's not just about the gym. It's about everyday, the world issues. And
Mm-hmm.
it's trying to give you that extra spark that you may need to dig down deep and get up and do what you said you were going to do. And that's what I portray. So I think I come across a little bit where I am available to talk to them. Like Rhonda said, I responded back in 10 minutes. And just the fact that they maybe feel a little secure with me and because of my page, that that they're able to open up and tell me exactly what they're looking for.
That's amazing, Matt. Rhonda, as a lead advocate for the VSC, how does physical activity and exercise impact the brain and contribute to mental health improvement?
Well, it's just like with fitness, it's a wonderful, wonderful coping skill to have to help you out with the mental health side of it. It's when you go to the gym, or at least when I go to the gym, I walk out of there feeling great. I feel like $1,000,000 most of the time because I'm contributing to my mental health. I feel great. I can't, I can't wait to go to work because I'm relaxed when I go to work because, in the job that I do, I don't know what the day is going to bring. It can be chaotic, it can be smooth, but regardless, I was able to work out, and it's a wonderful coping skill to help me, especially if I'm feeling down, because it's a roller coaster. It can be a roller coaster ride, but when I'm feeling low, that gym is always reliable for me.
I was just going to say, she said that gym is always reliable. I think it's a control thing. When you walk in that gym, you have control over anything you touch.
Yes.
Out in the daily world, you don't know what the day is going to bring. Like she said, whether you got to deal with angry employees, just customers in the grocery store, you've got bad weather, you're sick, you don't feel good, just things like that you can't control. But just having that freedom to know that, okay, I'm going to the gym and I know exactly what I'm going to do and I can control the outcome. That's a lot of mental. And
Yeah.
and
it's a lot of empowerment for an
it
individual.
is. It is. And when you make your mind up to go, whether you had a bad day or you're sick or you don't feel good or something's came up, just the fact that whether you crashed the workout or you smashed the workout, the fact that you did it, you overcome already.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's so powerful. And I can also like attest to that too, because very like similarly to Rhonda, I started working out at the same time, March 2022. And a lot of the times, like after work, I feel so tired and sluggish, after such a long day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to have the energy to go to the gym? But what's so crazy and interesting to me is like as soon as I get there and I like walk in and I feel the atmosphere, it's like I'm pumped and the workout is amazing and I leave feeling so much more like energetic and like hyped.
Yes.
And it's like I go home, I eat, I shower, and I'm just like ready to tackle on another like project. Like I
Right.
don't know if that's normal, but
That is normal.
I can.
You made your mind up to do something regardless of what obstructions got in your way, and you accomplished that. So, I mean, kudos to anybody that goes through that. I work 12-hour days. I drive 45 minutes from my work, and then I do not feel like going to the gym, but I know that if I can get there, like you said, that everything can turn around just like that. I can take all my stress relief out, and that's what I enjoy about the gym. I have control when I walk in that gym.
And you mentioned taking all the stress out. Our bodies know how to retain stress, take in the stress, but our muscles do not know how to release it. And the gym or home gym helps you release that stress out of your muscles.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Matt, I know you kind of touched on this previously, like just now, but as a fitness trainer and based on your clients and what you've seen, what are some key benefits that you've observed like in your business when it comes to your clients' mental health through their fitness journey?
Well, the mental health is extra confidence. Your body, when you feel good, your body's going to feel good. Your mind's going to feel good. There's a lot of confidence that you can gain when you go to the gym and you put in the time and you see that, hey, I've lost 5 or 6 pounds. Something I'm doing, I'm working. That's mental because you're happy. You're not depressed. You're not sad. You feel like you're making a change in your life. And that's what people have to understand is that it's not just physical as it is mental. If you don't have control of the mental aspect, then the physical aspect is not going to grow at all. I get a lot of clients that'll tell me, hey, I'm tired. I'm just wore out. And I'm like, look, you need to take you a couple of days off and let's get the mindset back in place because going to the gym in that kind of mindset, you're doing nothing but wasting your time.
Right.
So you got to take care of your mind before you can take care of your physical.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that you said that, Matt. And based like in your experience as well, are there any common misconceptions or myths about fitness and mental health that you've encountered? And if so, how do you address them?
a lot that I get is the women that'll ask me about virtual training. They say they don't want to look like a man. So I think that's a lot of misconception that if a woman walks by a weight or picks up a weight, they're automatically going to look shaped like a man. And that's not true at all. Your routine, your regimen, and your nutrition is what based on your figure. So I would, that's what I express the most. Look, you can lift weights and do these routines, and you won't look like Jay Cutler or Ronnie Coleman, not unless you want to.
Right.
I mean, it's up to you. It's up to the individual to take it as far as they want to go. And that's also mental.
Mm-hmm.
It is mental too. And I can also attest, like when I started going to the gym, a lot of my family members were like, oh my God, you're lifting so much weight. Oh my gosh, you're benching. You're going to bulk. You're going to look like a man. And
Yes,
I don't look
that
like
is
a
not
man.
the case. No,
No,
you
you
don't.
don't. And I had
You do
somebody
not.
say, "Oh, you look like you lift." Yes, I do. Well, don't lift too much. You're going to look manly. It's like, you worry about
No,
you. I'm happy with
right.
the way I look.
Absolutely. And all that is based, like I said, on the nutrition, the game plan, the weights you lift, the routines you do, and how far you want to take it. So lifting weights is not going to make you look like a man by
Thank
any
you.
means.
Thank you, Matt, for saying that. So everyone listening, if you want to lift weights, we can attest you're not going to look like a man if you are a
You're not
woman.
going to look like a man.
Rhonda, in what
Yes.
way does fitness provide a sense of empowerment and control for individuals seeking healing and improved mental well-being?
Well, I can tell you from working with Matt, all right, as his client, he sends out the routine. He empowers me to determine what weight I want to use. All right. If I want to go light, I can go light. If I can go heavier, I'll go heavier. But he lets me make that decision on lifting.
Mhm.
And I love that. I absolutely love that because then it's not like it's not cookie cutter. Okay. It is each routine is for us, but we all have an individualized weight standard of what we as an individual want to use.
Right. I love that
And that's part of the virtual training is that a lot I get questioned a lot. Hey, what exactly is virtual training? And that's me going into the gym, making small clips of an upper and lower body routine, both with abs. These are routines for gym and home. And what I try to do is I want to try to encourage you to feel more confident about walking in a gym. Like Rhonda said, she walked in a gym, she spent 2 or 3 hours, wasn't sure what she was doing. So if we have a goal, which we come up with, and then we come up with a game plan, which is the routines, then you can go in there and you can spend that 30, 45 minutes and feel like you got something when you leave rather than go in there and wander around and wind up on a treadmill for 15, 20 minutes. And then you just did nothing but waste your time. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what virtual training is.
And that's what took me to the next level with his virtual training because I was in there putting around and it didn't feel. I have to have a plan. I like to go in there knowing that when I walk in that gym, nothing else matters. That is my alone time, my sanctuary, my happy time. And I go in there, I know what the plan is, and I go in there and I execute it.
That's powerful. Matt, you did kind of answer this question. I'm sorry, did you want to add something else? Did I cut you off?
No, I'm good. No, I'm
Okay.
good. Go ahead.
Okay. So you did talk about like the strategies and the game plan and knowing exactly like your goal and the kind of body that you want to have. So that's like a perfect strategy. But are there any exercises that you find most effective when it comes to promoting healing and mental health through fitness?
I think that depends on the individual because some people are going to be runners, some people are going to be leg pushers, some people are going to be bench pressers. So I try not to put you in a box. I want you to talk to me and tell me exactly your thoughts about the gym, what you see that you feel like you would like to work on, and then go from there. Because each exercise is a different exercise. And I like it's just an individual thing. For me, of course, it's upper body. I think men just have always just gone to the racks with the weights and they just want to bench press and get big arms and big chest. I think that's just a man thing, So through this journey, I've learned that I've had to tone it down some because the 90% are women and start doing exercises that I feel uncomfortable with Leg abductors. I don't know if you're aware of what a leg abductor is. Yeah, yeah. I mean that makes me uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
it's a journey for me too.
Uh-huh.
But it just becomes to the end, and you just got to go from there, and it's one step to the next. I mean, you'll take this one, you'll feel good about it, and then you'll say, well, I'm not so sure about these lap pull downs over here. There's guys over there all the time, and then I'm like, okay, well, try going when there's not so many males, and then let's see if you can get some lap pull downs. And before long, they're throwing the guys off the lap pull downs, asking them how many more sets they got so they can get on there. And that's the kind of stuff that I like to hear from the clients is how they're mean mugging some of the people in the gym to get the equipment.
I call it face fighting.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to say any names, but it's an individual thing. I think that all of it is healing and can heal, but you just have to figure out what is best for you at the time.
Yeah.
And what's interesting too is that like through my journey as well, I find that it changes. So there's some days when I'm like, I love like legs. I hate, honestly, Matt, I hate hip thrusts and the
Yes.
abductors. I hate that personally. Like I don't do that. But like when it
Yes.
comes to upper body day, like the lats and the pull-ups, like I'm feeling that right now. But like
Yep.
next month, watch, like I'm just not going to be feeling
Right.
it anymore. So
Right.
I do think it
And,
changes.
and if I forced you to go in there and do something on a day that you didn't want to do it, then you would
Exactly.
hate me and you would get discouraged and you would shy away from it. So
Mhm.
that's why it's not a cookie cutter, and you have your own
Right.
opportunity to pick a leg day today, or pick an upper body day today, or pick an ab day today.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
For
I'm good.
me, the exercise I don't like chest day. But you know what? This is how I look at it. It has to be done. So I
Mhm.
go in there and I do it. I put my favorite song on loop and I get through it.
You just got to do it. Like Matt keeps saying, it's a mental thing.
It's a mental
It is a
thing.
mental thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is.
So, for those of you who don't know, I know Rhonda mentioned this in the beginning, but Rhonda has competed in her first bikini competition. So, Rhonda, when you were competing, the relationship between nutrition, exercise, mental well-being is obviously it's crucial. Can you
Yes.
share how each of these components work together to enhance overall health, and also share more about what your journey has looked like in working with Matt, working with your
Okay.
nutritionist, and also
Okay.
finding that balance?
Okay. Well, what happened was I started with the physical part with the training. And then when Matt and I were, trying to find a nutritionist, I learned so much about nutrition in the training. It's being ready for the stage in a fitness competition. It's a whole different level of fitness. It's
Mhm.
not just being fit and getting up there and showing it. It is nutrition. It is training. It is being in the right headspace, right mind space of because your body is going to transform and you're going to look at it and go, I don't think I'm ready, but it's part of the process. So what happens is when it comes to nutrition, we have to find out what my maintenance calories are, and then we start from there. And then when I start my prepping, which is preparation for the stage, because stage ready is different than just fitness,
Right.
then we start cutting my calories. I count my macros, and we slowly bring me down to where my muscles will eventually be as close to my skin as possible.
Mhm.
Because being on stage is an art form of the human body of showing all the hard work an individual has put in. All
Mhm.
right. Now, going through this prep, I had my emotional days. I had high days and I had low days and I had emotional days. And going through it for the first time, I didn't know, I knew to expect it, but I didn't know how to expect it until I lived through it.
Mhm.
And of course, you're starving your body to go up on stage. And so that means lack of food as much as I would like can make you irritable with everybody around you. Thank goodness I got a great team that's like, it's got to be the prep.
Mhm.
But now I know what to expect. So the second time around, it was a lot smoother.
Mm.
So, but it does play with your hormones and it does give you a sense of insecurity, vulnerability, humility. all of that. And it's learning how to process and regulate your emotions as you go through to be ready for the stage. Now, the week of the first time I hit the stage, I'm looking at myself thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way. I'm not ready, because I'm not trusting the process of the nutrition. I had all the confidence in the training. It was just the nutrition part is what scared me. So the day before my competition, when I looked at myself, because we slowly started bringing my muscles up to my skin, started plumping out, filling out more. I looked at myself and thought, I'm getting on that stage whether I'm ready or not, because my mindset was set that I worked way too hard for these last 8 months. I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. So when my heel hit the stage and I walked out there with another woman and I appear in front of 5 judges, the emotion that I had inside of me was freaking, I can't even describe how happy I was in knowing that I actually did this, because I do not do vulnerability well, and getting on stage in a bikini at my age is very vulnerable. And I loved it so much that I wanted to do it again, and I did it again in July. In fact, a couple of weeks ago here in Orlando. And same thing. I felt great, even though I was competing. I was competing in my age group, and also I was competing against younger women. All right, but it was the idea that I can do this, and if I can do this and be this vulnerable, look how much I've grown. I have grown so much internally as a person that I can't even describe it. It's such a wonderful feeling, such a wonderful feeling. And now we're prepping for me to go on stage again in February. And this time we're going to up me to, I was at bikini level. Now I'm going to go to figure level, because now I don't have to hold back on my working out and really work out good. I'm excited about that.
That's so exciting.
She made me cry. She made me cry when I went on stage. I'll be honest with you. I had tears. I did. I did. I had tears because I had watched this journey from day one to like the bucket list thing, and bucket list things are pretty much things that people want to do, but they never can follow through with it for whatever reason. And she put it on the bucket list and she did it, so I was very, very proud. It was emotionally, it brought tears to my eyes, no lie. So,
and it was great to be able to experience that with him on the day, my very first show. We got to experience it together. That's what was really cool, with all that support and everything. And I'm so gracious, and like I said, remember when I first started with him, I was scared that he wasn't going to take me on as a client. And then I was scared that he didn't think I could do something like this, because I guarantee it, a year ago, you could not have told me I was going to be on stage in a bikini in 5-inch heels. There's no way you could have told me that. And all of that was a process, just like going to counseling and crisis sessions and therapy. It's a process. You can't learn this stuff overnight. I had to buy my heels in September, and it took me every bit of those 8 months to learn to walk in those heels. And I'm thinking, if these women can do it, I can do it, because I never walked in heels before. So everything is a process. Building muscle is a process. Getting your nutrition under control is a process. Therapy, counseling, it's all a process.
That's amazing. I love how you're wording it, Rhonda, too, because you're right. Everything is a process. Taking that first step, like recognizing that you want to get better, recognizing that you want to get healthier. That's like the first step for everything. Once you make that decision that, I want this and I'm going to do it, that's when like the process happens. That's when you have people in your life like Matt who helps you through this journey. And, Matt, as your fitness trainer, he's like seen your growth, and it's amazing.
It's exciting. It's still exciting, and the journey still continues. There's no getting off of this. It still continues.
Matt, could you discuss any specific challenges or obstacles that your clients encounter on their fitness journey and how they overcame them to achieve healing and growth?
I think people, like the 1st of January, the big thing is we're going to get fit for the year. So they make unrealistic goals. And they come to me and they say, hey, I need to lose 30 pounds in 3 weeks. Well, that's possible, but it's not likely. So they make unrealistic goals, and then they're depressed or they get discouraged, and then it knocks them off for about 3 or 4 months, and then they want to try it again. So basically, I could just say, make a realistic goal. Have a goal, come up with a plan, and that alone, seeing the little small progression, is so much more. It gives you so much more confidence that you can take it to the next step, that you can say, okay, I lost 3 pounds. It took me a month, but I lost 3 pounds. Now I'm going to try to lose 5 pounds, so that the confidence level that it gives you for making realistic goals, that's basically where we're at. And, each person is their own individual. So you can't put a million Rhondas all in one spot and say, okay, we're going to make you like Rhonda.
Right.
Because I want you to still be you. We just got to figure out what you are, and what I mean by that is you're not wanting to train like Rhonda, okay, but you're wanting to lose 10 pounds for a wedding dress that you want to fit in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just basically having a goal and coming up with realistic plans, and that alone helps boost confidence and the motivation from other people. When somebody else says, hey, that shirt's fitting pretty good on you there, that gives you enough of motivation that you're going to keep trying. You're going to keep pushing forward, and that's what I just want to tell people is, hey, look, this is not going to happen in a day. I know that you want fast results, and fast results are not going to come when you're hip thrusting and you're bench pressing. It takes time to build muscle, so do not get discouraged, and stay around positive people that are going to continue to motivate you to help you achieve the goals that you're looking for.
I want to add on to that, Hannah. It's just like with my goal. We decided, in September, it took the rest of the year and all the way up to May to get me ready for the stage. So it didn't happen overnight. It was a slow process of building my muscle, my nutrition, and getting mentally ready for the stage. And I didn't acquire this overnight or in a couple of months. It took time, and I was very patient with that. And everybody needs to be patient with their fitness goals because it is a process.
It is a process.
Right.
And also, I can say, like, for my personal fitness journey too, I didn't want to lose weight. I actually wanted to gain weight. When I first started, I was 86 pounds, and I just wanted to be at least 100. And within the year, I gained 14 pounds. So I actually am sitting at 100 right now, and I'm just like, wow, it really took a year to do that. But it took a year of consistency of, going even when I didn't want to go, like having that discipline. Because if you rely on your emotions all the time, you're not going to be consistent, because your emotions, they fluctuate and they change every day. So I mean, fitness is like also a discipline too. And I know Matt and Rhonda, you say that throughout, the podcast, but it's very true.
Yes, I totally agree. That is an accomplishment, by the way. 14 pounds in a year.
Thank you. I was so happy.
Pretty good job there.
I know.
I'm still trying to gain weight, so I might have to have you tell me your secret after the show. So, because I'm trying to add about 15.
And I'm trying to add 10.
An awesome accomplishment. That is an awesome accomplishment, really, because I know as a trainer, it's one thing to lose weight. It's very hard to lose weight. Do not get me wrong, but to actually put on muscle, that is a completely different ball game there.
Yes,
it is. Very tough. So kudos to you for staying with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Hannah, you made a very valid point there. Consistency. We're consistent. And like with me, I have not missed a workout. I work out every other day. The only time I've really missed a workout is after my competition and give my body a few days off. But other than that, I got right back into the gym every other day.
Mm-hmm.
And just to touch base on this, I'm not giving her these routines that are outlandish. They're nothing crazy. They're nothing that's going to take her an hour and 45 minutes. However long it takes is basically up to the individual. But these routines are basic that can be elevated into a different level if need to be. But there's nothing rigorous about it. There's no burpees, there's no jumping jacks, there's no running 5 miles. So if anybody's interested in something that they think they want to get involved in fitness, this plan or somebody else's plan, like she said, take and pick a plan, but stay consistent with it.
Right.
Don't swap back and forth. Just trust the process.
And it's also like based on like what I'm hearing too, Matt is very like consensual in his like, routines as well. So everything is self-determining. So you do what you're comfortable with, you do what you feel like you can do. And he's never gonna, unless you want to do burpees and jumping jacks, like go ahead. Like,
Right.
he'll endorse it.
Absolutely.
But like if you don't feel pressured. And I will also make sure to put Matt's contact information in the description, and also like towards the end I'll have Matt explain more about how you can reach out to him. But so my next question, Rhonda, is can you talk about the importance of self-care and self-compassion within the context of healing through fitness, and how these elements contribute to overall well-being?
Oh my goodness. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea, self-care, self-compassion is very important to an individual. And there are 24 hours in the day. I look at it like this for me, and this is me. I spend my time for self-care in the gym. I go to the gym. I get up at 1:30 in the morning, eat my snack. I'm at the gym at 2:30, and that is my quiet time. That is my self-compassion time, self-care time that I have without any interruptions most of the time. Sometimes I get calls, but other than that, that's what I have. Then on the weekends, I meal prep. That is so therapeutic for me. That is, as I am making my meals, I'm loving what I'm making because I know I'm going to eat it. I know it's worth it. And it's very therapeutic for me to relax, make my meals, take my time, and know exactly what I'm going to eat during the week to complement my training.
Matt, can you share your perspective as Rhonda's fitness trainer on how she has transformed physically, mentally, and emotionally?
You want me to cry? I'm very, very proud of Rhonda and the achievements that she's made and consistency that she stayed with. And just so you know that when y'all hear Rhonda's story, everybody that is looking to get into fitness, you do not have to go to the gym at 1:30 in the morning. You do not have to meal prep on Sunday. That is something that Rhonda enjoys, and that the more that she trained and the more motivation she had and the more encouragement she had and the more results she started seeing, then she become more in depth with what she was doing, that she was able to police herself to find different ways to be happy. So going to the gym at 1:30 in the morning may not be for you, but you can still find time at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever. But anyway, about Rhonda, she was very determined. When we talked, I knew that whatever she set her mind to do, that she was going to do it. I didn't know that it was going to come so quickly.
That's Rhonda.
Yes, that was a shocker to me to see that from the time it came out of her mouth to the time she sat on stage, it was done very fast. Yeah. But it was done properly. I think we made sure that she was legitimately ready to step on stage. I wouldn't want to send somebody on stage that I didn't think were ready.
Right.
For the mental stability as well. You don't want to send somebody up there to be discouraged. Right. But she is the ultimate client. I mean, ultimate client, ultimate friend. But you definitely want her on your team. She's grown. She stayed consistent. I can't say enough of good things about Rhonda.
Oh, so thank you.
Let me stop before I start getting into tears here.
Well, this is good because it actually kind of like flows into the next question. Rhonda, can you share what you and Matt's relationship looks like as it relates to fitness and how you both show up for each other?
Oh my gosh. I have the most perfect client trainer relationship I have ever had. Aww. All right. I'm constantly in contact with Matt. If we have to change the game plan, we're ready to change the game plan. We talk it out. We communicate very well on the plan, on training, on, like I'll send him videos, say, have you seen this? Can I try this? you know, and he'll process it. He'll say, oh, yeah, or no, or whatever the situation is. But I'm very comfortable with being able to tell him, hey, I like to try this, or what do you think about this? I mean, even with going on stage, I think it was very important to get his input on what color bikini I should wear. All right. We got I got a robe. We put the logo on the back of the robe. I mean, we are definitely a team, and it's I've never had that type of a trainer client relationship before, and it is a wonderful relationship. It really is. You're gonna get me emotional about that.
That's so amazing. I love seeing, like, also like, this is when I go in the office, Matt, I always come in the office and I'm like, so how is it going? What's the fitness like? What's Matt giving you now to work on? And she always like shows me, then she always like excuse me, like hypes you up. So Matt, you're doing great. Just know that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I had a comment. I put it on an ab routine the other day when I told her
Yeah.
to play one complete song. Did she tell you which song I picked for?
No, she did it.
It was Creedence Clearwater. I heard it through the grapevine. So I don't know. I love that song, but it's like an 8 to 9 minute song.
No,
It's
11 minutes and 43 seconds.
Who's counting, right?
Oh my God. That must have been brutal. I'm sorry, Rhonda. But hey,
Well,
you're an 8-pack right now.
Well, here's what's funny about that is he puts in these secrets, these messages in his routine, which is cool because it's like Easter egg hunting. Okay, it's like oh, CCR, heard it through the grapevine. It's like, okay, it's not on my Spotify list, but I'll add it. So when I got to doing the core work, I plugged it in. It's like I didn't have my glasses on. I was like, is that 11 minutes and what 48 seconds? I thought,
Oh my goodness.
oh my gosh. It's like,
That's killing me today.
I was like,
funny.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You wait till I get done with this.
That's funny. But it
did
makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like it makes it fun. So
it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I enjoy that kind of stuff. It's like, okay. It's like when we suggest songs, it's like it goes straight to it. It's like, how many minutes is this?
it's funny. I like that.
And you know what, Matt, with his training, he makes it fun. All right. It's not like, this is, it's not cookie cutter. He makes it fun and enjoyable. He changed my outlook on fitness. And let me explain how he did that. Before COVID, I had a personal trainer, and I want to tell you something. I saw that trainer twice a week, and it cost a lot of money. And I dreaded going in there and facing him every time. I just, all right. So when I started the virtual training, it was like, I really like this. He's making this a lot of fun. There is not one morning gone by that I didn't roll out of bed and said, I'm not going. Yeah, I get rid of all the barriers. I have my clothes laid out the night before. I have my water. My headset is already charged the night before. So I roll out of bed, brush my teeth, get my face ready, throw my clothes on, eat my snack, get out the door and go. Because then I can't sit there and say, for me, and this is how I am, because I have to be accountable, and I can't sit there knowing that it's the day I'm supposed to work out and not tell Matt I didn't work out. That ain't happening. That's not happening. So that helps keep me accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's amazing. Okay, so the last question I would like both of you to answer. So for someone who is just starting their fitness journey as a means of healing, what advice would you give them to stay motivated and committed to their goals?
You want me to go first?
No, I'll go first on that one. Like I touched base earlier. Have a goal, come up with a realistic goal, and surround yourself with motivated, encouraging people, and that is probably the biggest bit of advice I can give anybody. Look, if you want to do anything in life, you need a good team around you, and those encouragers make a difference. They can make or break you. And if you have that extra oomph, then they're going to help push you across that finish line. If you're down and you're depressed, they're going to help pick you up. So have a goal, come up with a plan, and hang around motivated people, positive people, and you will be successful.
Thank you,
And
Matt. Go ahead,
I'll add to that. When
Mm-hmm.
you're ready, nothing will going to stop you. For me, it's kind of like therapy. You got to be ready. If you're not ready, you're not going to stick to it. So you need to be ready to go and say, this is what I want to do. And try to reduce as many barriers as possible. And I go back to me going to the gym at 2:30. The reason why I go to the gym at 2:30 in the morning, number one, is that's the only time I can make time to go.
Mm-hmm.
But number two, it eliminates any barriers I could possibly face. Like, I can't sit there and say, like I said before, I'm too tired, I can't go. My clothes are ready, because I know me, if I wait towards the end of the day, and like I said, this is just me, I would think of every excuse in the book not to go, and I don't want to be that way. So for me, everybody has to find out what works for them to reduce the barriers, and also have a game plan of what you're going to do when you decide to work out.
Right.
Amazing. Matt and Rhonda, thank you so much. Before we do end, I do want Matt to share more information on how people can like reach him and access
Yes.
him and, help, like if they want a routine, how to contact Matt. So go ahead, Matt, share that info.
If anybody's interested in virtual training or just want to talk about some supplements, if you could find me on Instagram, that's Matt Griffin 37, MattGriffin 37. Send me a direct message. I'll get back with you just as quick as I can. We can go over just about anything you're interested in, whether it be supplements, whether it be gym types, home routines, anything you got in mind you just want to talk about. If I can't help you, I'll put you in the right direction to send somebody else. And Hannah, I wanted to tell you this before I sign off.
Yes.
As an influencer, you
Yes.
probably don't hear this enough. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying motivated, because you are changing people's life, whether you realize it and whether you get told. Keep doing it. There are going to be days where you feel drained because of what you got going on, but you just got to keep trucking because you're making a difference.
Thank you, Matt. See, now you're gonna make me cry, all three of us. Like, oh my goodness. That's so kind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This was an amazing episode. I learned so much too. Matt and Rhonda, I appreciate you both so much. Matt, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram. Everybody else follow Matt on Instagram. Show him some love, show him some support. And until part 2, because it's coming.
Again, I appreciate the time. I thank you, Rhonda. It's always good to see you. And Hannah, it's nice to finally put a face with a name.
The VSC is a nonprofit organization that provides free, confidential counseling services for victims of any kind of trauma in Central Florida. The views and opinions expressed by podcast participants are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Victim Service Center of Central Florida. This podcast content is made available for informational and educational purposes, and the VSC does not make any representation or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the content. While we make every effort to ensure the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors. To learn more about our services, please visit victimservicecenter.org. And to everyone listening, healing is not linear, and you are not alone.